If you've watched my last two videos, you know I sort every rental property by looking at three numbers: purchase price, rental income, repair costs. But here's something that surprises a lot of new investors. Some of the worst investments I've ever evaluated look fantastic on paper. The rent worked, the purchase price seemed reasonable, the repairs weren't bad, and yet I still walked away. Why? Because numbers tell part of the story. Value tells the rest. As an appraiser, I've learned that there are warning signs hiding behind good-looking spreadsheets. Some of them are invisible in listing photos, some aren't mentioned by the seller, some don't show up until it's far too late. Today I'm going to share the 5 biggest red flags that immediately make me slow down or walk away completely. And learning those could save you from making some of the most expensive mistakes of your investing journey. I remember evaluating a property that at first glance looked almost perfect. The asking price was attractive, the projected rent looked strong, the house had been updated, the seller emphasized that it was move-in ready. But if you were scrolling Zillow, you'd probably save it immediately. But after digging further, little things started adding up. The street was unusually quiet, not in a peaceful way, but because several nearby homes were vacant. The neighborhood wasn't improving, it was slowly declining. The updates inside the home were cosmetic, but larger maintenance issues had been ignored. The seller's time frame felt rushed. Individually, none of those things seemed like deal breakers. Together, they completely changed the story. That's one of the biggest lessons I've learned over the years. Bad investments rarely wave a giant red flag. They whisper, and if you don't know what you're listening for, you'll miss them. I know what some of you might be thinking. Brandon, how am I supposed to see these things? I'm brand new. Here's the good news. They aren't advanced investing tricks. They're habits, they're questions, they're observations anyone can learn. This is what I call building value intelligence. You're training yourself to see what other buyers overlook. Let's go through the 5 red flags. Number 1, the neighborhood is moving in the wrong direction. A property doesn't exist in isolation, it belongs to a neighborhood. Ask yourself, are businesses opening or closing? Are the homes being maintained or neglected? Are people investing in the area or leaving? You don't need a crystal ball, you just need to observe trends. Because even the nicest house struggles when the neighborhood is deteriorating. Red flag number 2, deferred maintenance. Fresh paint can hide a lot, so can new flooring. Cosmetic improvements are inexpensive. Major systems aren't. When I walk through a property, I'm paying attention to things like the roof, foundation, electrical, HVAC, plumbing, windows. These items can completely change your investment. A beautifully renovated kitchen doesn't matter if the foundation needs extensive repairs. Red flag number 3, unrealistic rental expectations. This one catches beginners all the time. Someone says, I can easily rent this for $2,500 a month. According to who? Hope isn't a rental analysis. Always verify rental income using comparable rents in the market. One of the fastest ways to lose money is buying based on projected rent that doesn't actually exist. Red flag number 4, buying with no margin for error. I love conservative investing because real estate isn't about being right every single time. It's about surviving when things don't go according to plan. Ask yourself, what happens if repair costs are more? What happens if the property sits vacant? What happens if insurance increases? If one expected expense destroys the deal probably wasn't strong to begin with. Red flag number 5, falling in love with the property. This might be the biggest one. Real estate is emotional, beautiful kitchens, large backyards, historic charm. It's easy to convince yourself that because you love the house, it must be a good investment. But here's something I remind myself constantly. I don't buy houses, I buy financial decisions. The moment emotion becomes stronger than analysis, your risk increases dramatically. That's why I try to evaluate every property the same way, regardless of how beautiful or ugly it is. Notice something interesting. None of these red flags involve complicated formulas. They're about slowing down, observing, asking better questions. This is why I believe value intelligence is more important than memorizing calculations. Anyone can plug numbers into a spreadsheet. The real skill is recognizing when those numbers aren't telling the whole story. So the next time you're looking at a rental property, don't just ask, does this cash flow? Ask, what story is the property telling me? Because every investment tells a story. Some stories lead to wealth, others lead to expensive lessons. To help you develop that habit, I created my Beginner's Instant Equity Checklist. It's designed to help you evaluate properties more intentionally and avoid wasting time on deals that don't deserve a second look. You can download it by using the link below. I started Grow Wealth 101 because I saw too many hardworking people believe that successful investing was reserved for experts. It isn't. You don't need perfect knowledge. You don't need better judgment. That's what value intelligence is all about. Learning to recognize value before everyone else does. Learning to slow down before making expensive decisions. And building confidence through understanding, not guessing. If you can do that, you'll already be ahead of most people entering the market. If this video helped you think about rental properties in a new way, I'd love to invite you to join our free Grow Wealth 101 community. Inside, we're building a place where everyday professionals learn together, ask questions, discuss real deals, and sharpen their value intelligence one property at a time. It's completely free, and we'd love to have you. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, because every week we're helping recognize value with greater confidence, not just buy real estate. I'll see you in the community. But here's something that surprises almost everyone. Let's say you found a property with a great purchase price, strong rental income, reasonable repair costs, and none of these are red flags. Would you buy it? Maybe not. Because there's one question I ask before I make an offer, and if I can't answer it with confidence, I don't buy. It's the same question I ask every day as an appraiser. It has saved me from overpaying more times than I can count. In the next buyer breakthrough video, I'm going to show you how appraisers determine what a property is actually worth, and how you can use that same thinking to recognize value before making an offer. Once you understand this process, you'll stop asking, is this a good deal? And start asking a much more powerful question, compared to what? And that single shift in thinking can completely change the way you invest. This creates a natural progression in our value intelligence curriculum. Is it a good deal? The 3 numbers I look at first. The 5 red flags that make me walk away. How appraisers determine value using comparable sales.